So Hebrews chapter 8. And verses 7 through 12. Okay, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then no place would have been sought for a second. So now Paul is going to explain to us this new covenant. Because finding fault with them, he says, behold, the days are coming, says the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they did not continue in my covenant, and I disregarded them, says the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them where? On their hearts. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people. None of them shall teach his neighbor, and none of his brothers, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me. That's an important verse for what we're doing this morning. From the least of the greatest to from the least of them to the greatest of them. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their lawless deeds I will remember no more. So when God is communicating the new covenant, his intention is to write his law on the heart of humanity. Do we see that there? Yeah. But if he's writing his law on the heart of humanity, what is he writing there? His heart. Yeah. So what God is trying to do, all the new covenant is, it's a heart transplant. He's taking the heart of humanity that has all of the wickedness, all the stuff we read about. He's taking it out, and in its place, he's putting what?
His heart.
His heart. And the intention why he's doing that, based on what we read in Amos 3:3, why is God trying to put his heart on in his people? So that he can do what with them? So that he can walk with them. See, two can't walk together unless they're in agreement. If my heart is replaced with the heart of God, then we will be in agreement. So what does it suggest? What does it suggest about God's desire for a relationship with me? Do you think he does desire it, or that he doesn't desire it? He does, or else he would not have established this new covenant. He wants so awfully to walk with me that he's willing to take my heart, right, and replace it with his. And if I allow him to do that, then we will be able to walk in agreement. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, we're finishing up. In Matthew 23, you don't have to turn there because we're basically out of time. In Matthew chapter 23, Jesus is talking to the Pharisees about their religion. And he says that there's an issue with them where they like to wash the outside of they're like bowls that have been washed on the outside, but the inside is dirty. I'll tell you a quick story. It's a 30-second story, hopefully. So growing up, my family, I have a younger brother and a younger sister. And we don't, no, not we. They didn't like to wash the dishes. I did like to wash the dishes. I don't mean that as a place of comparison. There were other things I didn't like to do. But the dishes, for whatever reason, I like to wash them. So I used to dread them washing the dishes because they did it as fast as possible, and they really weren't concerned with how clean the dishes were. And I used to like to eat yogurt. And one day I was eating this yogurt, and I was eating with it, and it was good. It was blueberry yogurt. It's good. And I was having a good time. And about 3/4 through the yogurt, I finally looked at my spoon, and there was old food inside the spoon. So I've been eating yogurt with a dirty spoon. Let me ask you a question. How do you think that made me feel? Do you think I would rather not have eaten with a dirty spoon on the inside? Right. It doesn't matter what the handle of the spoon looked like. It doesn't matter if the outside of that yogurt cup was clean. That spoon was dirty, and it ruined the whole yogurt experience. Right. Now, Jesus is saying, for many of us, our religion is the same way. We think if we can just clean the outside, that we will have an experience worthy of being taken to heaven by him. And what he's saying is that that's a problem. We need to clean the inside right? We need to clean the inside. But what is the issue with cleaning the inside? What are we capable of cleaning the inside? No. No, we're not. We need to be cleaned from the inside by God. Does this make sense? This is the process that he's trying to do. He's trying to take our old hearts from us and give us our new hearts, or give us his heart so that we can walk with him. We've run out of time. I was going to show you, there are verses, and you can read this if you get a chance. I mean, it's Sabbath afternoon, I don't know what you're doing, but if you get a chance when you get home, go look at John chapter 17, verses 2 and 3 again. We can recite John 14 by memory, right? Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. And then what does he tell us? I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again to take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. And in Revelation 22, when God says in verse 14, that blessed are they that keep the commandments, that they may have a right to the tree of life. But if you read the beginning of Revelation 22, what all of these three passages I just said, so John 17, John 14, and Revelation 22, what they have in common is the way they explain heaven is that it's a communal relationship with God. Heaven is not, in Revelation 22, they say they see him face to face. So heaven is not like the mansions and the streets paved with gold. That's not God's intention for us. His intention is for us to be able to commune face to face with him. That's what God always wanted. That's what he wanted in Eden. That's why